Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host behind the little bush here, the poinsettia, and today Tim Elbert's in the house, and we have a bunch of these to give away. Well, we have one of these to give away. We have a bunch in the studio, and we have decided, Tim Elbert, who heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, that we're going to give one of the red ones away today.
Excellent.
And so anyway, for the next 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so, if you have any questions about what's going on in your yard or any questions about what you should be doing this time of the year, and yes, you should be doing some things out there, give us a call. The phone number is 776-5368, 776-5368, or toll free if you're outside the immediate area, 1-800-373-5368. Ask your question of Tim. Your name goes in the hat, and somebody's going to win a beautiful poinsettia that we have here in the studio. These things are just gorgeous. Now, did these come from your greenhouse?
No, we did not grow these. These actually came from a greenhouse up in the Corvallis area. So,
wow,
yeah.
They are just gorgeous. And now, somewhere around here, is that it? Was that the ice one? This is not the ice one?
That's a red.
Okay.
And then there's the Ice Punch, which has the white markings in the center.
Yeah, right back there's one.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah, the Ice Punch is a kind of a newer variety, and it's just spectacular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you got any questions, give us a call, 776-5368. And if you got questions about your gardening, and maybe this weekend's actually going to be okay until Sunday, and then the weather comes in, so it should be all right. So if you're planning on doing some gardening and you have some, maybe you want to move something, transplant something, fertilize something, trim something, get rid of something, now's the time. The number is 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. All right, now, how do we care for these things? And some people are actually able to keep them after Christmas. I've never figured out that combination.
Well, you know, the poinsettias like to be a little bit on they like to stay moist, but not really wet. So it's important, especially when they have these sleeves on them, that you pull them out of the sleeves, water them, allow them to fully drain, and then set them back in the sleeves. And you want to check them once in a while, and I just dig my finger down in there to the first knuckle, and I check it for moisture. If it's dry down to the first knuckle, then it's time to water them. And so I'll pull it out, give it a good watering, let it drain again, put it back in, but no fertilizer. And poinsettias are very they're very temperamental when it comes to temperatures. So you want to watch out if you're putting them close to the entryway, you know, with the cold air blowing in the doorways. Things like that. Heater vents that are blowing on them can sometimes cause problems.
I was just going to ask you, does house heat bother these things?
You know, they love the warmth, so they want that heat, but if it's blowing on them continually, then you end up drying out that foliage and it burns them on that side. So it's just kind of, you know, move that away a little bit and it should be fine.
All right, well, and I'm always amazed how beautiful they are and how long they last, because they'll last for quite a while, won't they?
Yeah, I've had them actually bloom clear up to Easter.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you're a nurseryman. I'm not. You know all the things to do. So anyway, 776-5368. Now listen, here's an opportunity to get a beautiful poinsettia. Maybe even you can pick it up today. Are you open for away today?
Yep, we're open all day today till 5 o'clock. Of course, we're closed tomorrow. All
right. Really? Good boy.
Yeah.
All right. You're the man. All right. But anyway, you can get this today for your Thanksgiving table. 776-5368 or toll free outside the immediate area. Now, if you win, you'll have to come over and get it later. But anyway, 1-800-373-5368. Ask Tim any questions you have. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery. It's out on Highway 62. You get off on Violet's Road and you just go up a little bit. You can't miss it. It's off to the right there. You got poinsettias and all kinds of things out. By the way, if you're thinking about a Christmas tree, and now is the season, Tim is the place to go for a live Christmas tree. I'm just amazed how beautiful they are.
Yeah, the live trees are really nice because they're a lot more unique than what you're getting cut. When you're getting cut, there's just a very few fir and maybe some pine to choose from. But going with a live tree, there's so many other things you can do. So, you know, beautiful blue spruces and cedars and things like that too. So a lot of different choices. I think at last count, we had about 15 different varieties of things that you could easily use as a Christmas tree, and every once in a while we get those unique people that come in who choose something that's very, very strange for a Christmas tree. I've actually sold a palm tree as a Christmas tree.
All right.
So there's a lot of things. And one of the nice benefits of getting a live Christmas tree is that you can leave it in a container and have it again next year.
You don't have to get it in a bigger container, doesn't it grow?
Usually they'll go 2 Christmases in that container that they're in, and after that you'd want to bring them up one size or plant it in the yard.
All right. Well, there's another idea. If you're thinking about a live Christmas tree, they are so, you know what I like to do is bring them over like now, put them outside the window and decorate them. And then, you know, maybe a little closer to Christmas, then move it in.
You don't want to leave them in the house for very long, and that's the one drawback. If you like to leave your tree in the house for a long time, you know, live trees are very sensitive to that. So you want to make sure that you're only leaving it in the house for a couple of weeks at the most, and that you acclimate it going back outside. So it needs to go into a cool or cold location before going to
goes from the living room to the laundry room to the garage, then outside.
There you go.
What about the ice cube thing? I've always was fascinated with that.
Yeah, it's ice
whether
cubes,
a cut tree or a live tree.
Yes, when you're adding water, of course, it can get kind of tough to pour that water around. You're spilling it all over your nice floors and things like that. So using ice cubes is a great way to change that. On a live tree, the ice cubes help keep the roots cold, and they also release slowly, so you're not getting that water draining all over the place. And when you've got a cut tree, just reaching under there, throwing some ice cubes in your tray is a lot easier than trying to pour through the foliage and everything. So, yeah.
All right, 776-5368 is the number here if you have any questions about what you should be doing in the yard this weekend. I know it's the Thanksgiving weekend, but for you diehards, so they're going to be out there moving some things around. Your name's going to go in the hat after your question, and somebody's going to win one of the red ones.
Yes.
One of the red ones here. Anyway, poinsettias. And the phone number again, 776-5368. Or toll-free 1-800-373-5368. All right, I did something in the yard the other day. Now, Peggy was out of town, and I was doing some yard work, cleaning up, being a good boy. And I noticed in my little shed I had some leftover of your all-purpose lawn fertilizer.
Okay, yeah.
What's the name of that?
Classic?
Yeah. And I had a whole bag of lime. I'm seeing what his reaction is.
I'm thinking, I sold you that a long time ago.
Yeah, well, you did. So I thought, well, it's better that it's on the lawn than me trying to store it in the shed for another winter and bang a hole in it and have it leak all over the floor. So I put them both down. That night it rained, and I got a green lawn, and the mushrooms went away.
Well, amazing. Amazing how that is. You know, I heard somewhere that...
I did. I heard it on some television show, yeah. So it worked, and it was late in the season, but it worked.
Yeah, it'll still work because what you're doing with that lime is you're creating an environment that fungus can't grow. Fungus is very specific to how it has to grow. All funguses are. And, of course, mushrooms are a fungus. So, so by just adjusting the pH slightly, they can't grow anymore, and that's what you're doing. Raise that pH up a little bit, and they can't handle it.
All right. Again, get your phone calls in if you want to get your name in the hat for one of these poinsettias. All right, the other thing is it's pretty much now this 20-degree temperature, kind of the end of fertilizing the lawn.
Yep, we're about to hit the end there.
We're about done.
Yeah, you know, of course, with this this first week of really cold weather that we've had this year, it's been you know, we're seeing things happen like, you know, the perennials that were still going strong are now crashed, and the rest of the leaves have fallen off of the trees, and so this is a good time to finish that cleanup. And of course, with this heavy freeze, the roses too, of course, they are completely dormant now, and so all your pruning that you do on those, you can do now. Digging and moving plants can be done at this point. Of course, if you do that, be sure you wait till the ground is thawed out. Don't do it early in the morning when the ground is still frozen. But yeah, so there's a lot of all that cleanup to do, and planning for next year. What are you going to do next year? You know, I find it's great to take notes and say, you know, I really liked how this turned out over here, but over here I really didn't like that. And come April, you're not going to remember that. And so taking those notes and bring that to us, and we'll help you figure out what to do for next year.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'd love to take your phone calls if you have any questions about plants or gardening or fertilizing or transplanting or how to do a Christmas tree, what to do with your poinsettia, how to bake a pumpkin pie. He's the man. And the phone number is 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373. When you call in, your name's going in the hat, and somebody's going to win one of these beautiful red poinsettias. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the Timinator right after this.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve. That's right, and that's what today is. And in the house is Tim Elbert, and surrounded by beautiful poinsettias, and somebody's going to win one of the red ones. Coming up, as you call in, your name's going in the hat, and coming at the end of the program, we'll draw one name out, and you can go get it today if you'd like to have it for your table coming up for tomorrow on Thanksgiving. The phone number is 776-5368. Or if you're outside the media area, toll free. Whether you're listening up and down the southern Oregon coast, down in Northern California, over in the Klamath Basin, if you're watching on Roku and you're in another state in another world, hey, call us, 1-800-373-5368. By the way, before I take the calls, this is the ice punch.
Yes.
And the ice punch actually how in the world did they do that? They got little white, it looks like little pieces of ice on those red leaves. It's just gorgeous. How'd that happen?
Well, it's all genetics. They cross this one with that one and work on them until they come up with something that looks pretty cool.
Man playing with God, huh?
Yeah, well,
That is beautiful, though. It's just, it's amazing. And they're a little bit smaller plant, huh?
Yeah, it seems to be a little smaller, a little tighter.
Okay. All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, Ron. You've been very patient. Happy Thanksgiving. What's your question?
I was wondering about the
lime?
The lime, yeah.
Okay.
Will it kill the moss?
Well, you typically no. Lime adjusting pH won't usually do anything for moss, and so probably your best shot for moss is going to be iron. And there's a couple of different types of iron out there, including a non-staining form that doesn't leave those rust stains everywhere. But definitely iron is going to be your choice for moss control.
Okay, does sulfate of ammonia have that in it?
No, it doesn't. Nope, you need to get some iron. So you can come by the store and just ask for iron, and we'll show you which one it is.
Okay, I just wondered because I used to raise hay. And we had a field that had moss in it. We put sulfate of ammonia on it, killed it.
Yeah, sometimes if you put a lot of it down, it'll burn it, but you really don't want to do that for your lawn. But it also doesn't really, it's not that effective in the lawn. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and Peggy.
Okay, thanks, buddy. See you later.
How about Timinator also?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go to, let's see here. You guys in there are going to have to help me. My buttons aren't working. Let's go to Helen. Somebody's going to have to push the button for Helen. Hi, Helen. Happy Thanksgiving. What's your question? Helen? Whoop, we lost Helen. Oh, no. Sorry about that. Helen, please call back. We're having a little bit of a tech problem. Let's go to Larry. Hi, Larry. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning, sir. How are you guys?
Good.
Good morning.
My question was, my mother has these lilac trees, and I was wondering when the best time to trim those was.
Well, you want to wait now. Don't prune them now because you're going to lose your flowers if you do. In those buds are all the flower buds inside there, so pruning now is not a good idea. Wait until later in spring after they're finished blooming and do your pruning then.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Sorry, Helen and others, we had a little bit of a tech problem there. If you'll call back, we'll get you in. The phone number is 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. And as you call in, your name's going in the hat. Somebody's going to win a beautiful poinsettia, and you can, if you're in the area, you can go get it today, so you can have it for tomorrow. Oh, there's Helen. Let's see if I can get this work. Hi, Helen. Thanks for calling back. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, folks. Now, the lime that you use for mushrooms, do you put it around the base of them or over the whole mushroom?
Well, I like to put the lime over the whole lawn, over the whole area, because what you're seeing when you're seeing those mushrooms is just the fruiting body of the fungus. And the actual fungus itself is in the soil. So if you just put it around where you see the mushrooms, chances are you're not going to get control over it. So go over the whole lawn or the whole area where that is, and you'll be more successful.
Okie dokie.
Thanks,
Thank
Helen.
you much.
Thank you.
All right. 776-5368 is the number, or toll free 1-800-373-5368. Now, can you still do lime now?
Yes, you can. You can actually put lime down anytime.
Oh, okay.
But of course, remember, it's got to get watered in.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put it on, you either need to water it in or do it before it rains.
That's well, I was lucky. It wasn't smart, just lucky. I put the fertilizer down and the lime down the same day, and it rained that night. So
you were blessed. God
yeah,
said,
there we go.
Look at this fool.
Blessed. We'll go with blessed. Okay, sorry about that. It was a blessing. Thank you, Lord. All right, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Happy Thanksgiving. And what's going on with black walnuts?
Well, we have a huge, big old black walnut tree, and I just want to know if there's anything we can do with our black walnuts. Is there any way we can get into them? Can we, how do you crack them and get the meat out? What do you do with them if you're not going to use them?
Well, yes, you can use black walnuts. They're definitely edible, and they're actually quite tasty. They're not as sweet as the English walnuts. They're actually quite strong, and so I'm sure you could probably find some online recipes or things like that for use of them. But what you really need to do is allow them to dry out, and usually putting them in a, we used to take the walnuts and put them by the fireplace and let them dry out, get them good and dry, and then you can take them and crack them. Use a hammer because they're very, very strong shells, and you'll need something like a walnut pick to get the meat out. It's not an easy task, and that's why most people don't usually go for the black walnuts. But it's absolutely worth it. They're very good.
The hands that drive a Subaru.
Thank you so
are
much.
The hands that
You're
do
welcome.
good things
You have
for
a
the
happy
whole
Thanksgiving.
community.
You too.
The
You
environment.
know, the other thing with a black walnut, cut the
Seniors,
tree down, sell the wood.
kids,
There you go.
and animals.
Let it get big.
Well,
and
they
then
are.
cut it down.
Aren't they
You
messy?
get a great deal.
They can be very messy.
And they're very acidic, aren't they?
Well, they actually produce a substance called juglanase, which is a growth inhibitor. And so it
Nothing
keeps,
underneath grows, right?
Right, yeah. And that's their way of getting rid of all their competition,
Oh,
and
really?
so, they can cause some real problems, but their wood is very expensive.
Yeah, black
and,
walnut, I was gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
All right, let's go to Eileen. Hi, Eileen. Happy Thanksgiving. What's going on with your Shasta daisies?
Well, I planted them all along my deck last year, not realizing that the huge tree shelters the deck. So these poor guys got very little sun. They got long and stemmy and ugly and struggled, but they lived. So it was very little flowering. And I just went out yesterday, cut the stems off at ground level. Can I transplant those to the front yard where there's more sun?
Absolutely.
You mean just dig up the plant to the root and just plant it in the front yard?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Yep, easy peasy.
Yeah, well, it was a mess, I'll tell you. After the leaves from the tree fell around them,
Oh, yeah.
I worked 2 hours cleaning that mess up, and I'd sure like to save those Shasta daisies.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Just cut them. You can cut them clear down to just where the foliage is at the base, and dig them and move them. You'll have beautiful, beautiful flowers next year.
Okay, thank you so much, and
You're
have
welcome.
a good Thanksgiving.
You too.
You too.
All right. Let's go to Marlene. Hi, Marlene. Happy Thanksgiving. And how are you and your pet deers getting along?
You know, they are just broadening their tastes all the time and getting more and more. But I heard a rumor that you have a foolproof, guaranteed method of keeping them out of the garden.
30. Called the 30-06.
My husband's going to be really happy about that.
Oh, there are some things on the market. I wouldn't say that anything is foolproof, but we have had really good success with these little plastic discs. They have a scent in them. It's nothing we can smell, but the deer can. It's put out by Sweeney's, is the name of the company, and it just says Sweeney's Deer Repellent. They come 6 in a package, and you just put them around your yard, and we've had very good success. A lot of people reporting that it's done very well for them.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't eat underneath those little things. They just eat around. Just kidding.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, that's what I needed was the name of it. So I'll definitely be out to get some. Thank you.
All right, happy Thanksgiving. All right, let's go to, hi, Sue. What's going on with your crepe myrtle?
Well, I bought the dwarf crepe myrtle, and I have one pretty close to the house, and it's getting even a little bigger than I thought it would as a dwarf. Can I trim it back now?
Yes, the crepe myrtle can be pruned back now, and it's not a bad time to do that. So you can cut it back. You could go quite far if you want to, even cutting it in half if you need to, and they'll recover from that just fine in the spring.
Okay.
Hey, Sue.
Yes.
Did you hear one of our news stories today that every available Oregon State police officer is going to be on the road this weekend?
Oh, really? Well, I'm not going to be in Oregon this weekend, so.
Okay. Just slow down now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I always tease her about her fast driving. Hey, 776-5368. You're more than welcome to join us and get a question in. Somebody, we're going to draw a name out here in a little bit. Somebody's going to win one of these beautiful poinsettias. And if you have a question about what you should be doing in the yard, trimming back, moving plants, spraying, otherwise, this is a good opportunity for you to ask Tim the question and get your name in for a beautiful poinsettia. And you could, if you win, you can go get it today if you want and have it on your table for the weekend. 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. All right, before we take a break, yes, the roses are dormant, but this is not the time we go all the way down to the stub, right?
Right. This
so
is the time
want
we
to
just
prune,
do,
but not all the way down, right?
Right. We just do a cleaning cut at this point, and that does a couple of different things. By cleaning it, we cut them about waist level, and get rid of all of that, and that helps to eliminate a lot of the insect and disease problems that might be overwintering. And then the second thing that it does is it allows us to, when we go to spray the dormant spray, which is the lime, sulfur, and oil, and you do that right after you're done pruning, it means that we don't have to spray as much. So it just cuts down on the amount of chemicals we have to use and works very good.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. But coming up in February, around Valentine's Day, the magic formula. And I understand, did you get the okay to bag it?
We haven't got that far yet.
Okay, you're working on it.
Working on that.
All right. I think we ought to go together on the labeling of that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We want to take your phone calls because we want to get your name in the hat to possibly win one of these beautiful poinsettias. And you can get it today if you have the time and have it on your table for tomorrow. The phone number is 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
All right, happy Thanksgiving. Tim Elbert's in the house, better known as the Timinator. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery out on Highway 62. And yes, they'll be open today. They will be closed tomorrow. Thank you for doing that. And open Friday and Saturday. And if you need some beautiful color for your table, or maybe even going into the holiday season, or you're thinking about a live Christmas tree, well, you may want to check out the Four Seasons Nursery. As you call in today, your name's going in the hat for one of these poinsettias. We're going to draw a name out. Let's get right back to the questions because everybody wants to talk to you, Tim. Hi, Cindy. Happy Thanksgiving. And what's going on with your Rose of Sharon?
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you also. Well, we planted some Rose of Sharon trees. We put 2 in October, and I was just wondering what the proper care for these particular trees are and what to expect for.
Okay. Well, for right now, there's not a lot that you have to do. If you have a lot of old flowers still sitting on the tree or seed heads still on the tree, not a bad idea to shear those off just to kind of clean it up. You can shape it a little bit if you need to, and then other than that, you're done. In the spring, when they first start to come out, you'll notice that the leaves are going to be very pale, almost yellow. And as soon as you start to see those leaves, that's when you want to fertilize them. And use an acid fertilizer, same thing you would for your azaleas and rhododendrons. And they'll respond to that very well.
Great. It does have a bit of some moss on it. Will that come off, the moss?
No, the moss is just kind of growing on the exfoliating bark and is not harming it at all. So I would just leave it. It's no big deal.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it's got the crimson, purple, red flowers on it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It bloom. Should be pretty. So anyway. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, let's go to Sylvia. Happy Thanksgiving. And you have a sap dripping tree?
Yeah, I have a huge, I don't know if it's a cottonwood tree, but in the spring it drops, it's like these seed pods and they're really sappy. Yeah. Is there any kind of chemical or anything I can put at the base of that tree to prevent it from forming those, I think they're seed pods?
Steel chainsaw.
Yeah, you can put a chainsaw to it. That's about the only thing that's going to stop that, I'll tell you. That sap that you're seeing there, that is, it's a substance that the plant uses to protect its buds. And so if you were to look at those buds right now, you would see they'd be very, very tight and almost a little sticky the way they are. In the spring, when they start to open up, that sap protects those buds, that fresh growth from insects and things, and so yes, it is going to produce that. It's natural, and it is always going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop that. It's just a natural occurrence on those.
Well, that is not the answer I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I'm telling a lie, but I'm on Christian broadcasting here.
I called last year about mistletoe in my trees, and you said that I needed to cut those down too. So I don't think I have any trees left.
Oh, yes.
Well, I tell you what, Sylvia, you believe what you want to believe, but you're wrong.
That's why they call me the Timinator.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll be lucky and win that little poinsettia. Thank you.
Go. All right.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Janet. Hi, Janet. And
Hi.
You want to, happy Thanksgiving. You want to transplant some cedars?
Yeah, I have an acre forest with a bunch of little babies out there, and I'd love to plant a line of those cedars to hide icky neighbors. So, is this a good time to do it, or should I wait?
It's a great time to do it. Yes.
And how, like, let's say if I pick the ones that are about a foot and a half, how much of a root? I mean, I'm not sure how deep I need to dig them out.
And these are seedlings that have grown?
Yeah.
Okay, they probably have a tap root. So the width of the root probably isn't very much, but the depth is going to be down there. I would say, I'm going to guess, of course, that you're looking at maybe 12 inches deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, same to you.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. Hi, Carol. Happy Thanksgiving. And what about your dogwood?
Oh, hi. Hi, Tim. Well, because we've had such a dry fall, and I went, and it's in a large pot. Tim, you sold me the big pot in the dogwood, and I'm wondering how often should I be watering that? It's cold, but should I be watering it?
You won't necessarily need to water it once it goes dormant. The amount of moisture that they use is very, very little.
Okay.
So we won't have to do a whole lot. The only time you're really going to need to water it is if that soil dries out. So if we've got a few weeks of really dry weather, it's not going to hurt anything to go ahead and water it. And in fact, if you don't know whether or not you should, go for it. Just water it. It's not going to hurt it either.
Okay. And then I have another question on my Lenten rose. I have two big pots of different Lenten rose. I have the white and I have the pink. And on the white, I have this, kind of mold, fuzzy little stuff growing here and there on the top of the soil. Is there something that I can use to treat that?
You might try using a little bit of hydrogen peroxide mixed with water. I would say maybe I would just use about a couple of tablespoons in a cup of water.
Okay.
And just pour that around on there and see if that gets rid of it. If it does, great. If it doesn't, just try scraping it off and get rid of it that way.
Oh, okay.
And if it still comes back, let me know.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you,
Tim. Thank you, Perry. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Hey, same to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, 776-5368, and we still have some time left for you to call and ask a question, get your name in the hat. Somebody's going to win one of these beautiful red poinsettias, and you could pick it up today and have it for your table or your house over the weekend. 776-5368, and then toll-free for those listening up and down the Oregon coast from the Coos Bay area, down through Port Orford, all the way down to Brookings into Crescent City. If maybe you're over in the Klamath Basin area, maybe you're down in Mount Shasta, Weed, Wairika area, we'd love to hear from you. Or you're watching on Roku, and you could be anywhere. Toll free, 1-800-373-5368. All right, so what's your favorite pumpkin pie recipe?
Costco.
Oh, well, there you go. What can I say? I was telling the audience earlier, I was out there when they had one of those great big dollies, the flat dollies that when you buy like a piece of furniture or one of those big TVs they roll it out on.
Right.
That thing was stacked high. I would say it was stacked 3.5 feet high of pumpkin pies. They rolled it out from the bakery. They didn't have time to get it to the shelf. People were taking it right off the dolly.
Yeah, they make a pretty good pumpkin pie, I have to say.
Well, I have to say that it's delicious, it's big, and it's cheap.
Yes.
Well, all three things you want. Okay. All right. Hi, Jean. Daffodils, right?
Yes.
What's going on with them?
Well, I just planted a lot of nice daffodils in big pots. They're about 15 inches across, the pots. But they're on my patio, and they don't get rain, it's sheltered. How often do I have to water them when they're in those pots?
Well, if they're not getting any rain or moisture from outside, it's a good idea to keep that soil fairly moist. So I would say maybe once a month or so, a good drink once a month. And if it dries out a little more than that, you might have to add a little bit. But, the bulbs being dormant aren't going to require a lot of water. So just once a month should do it.
Okay, they get a little sunlight, it depends when the sun is coming into the deck. But after that, they're just on their own, they're so...
Yeah, if you had some plants in the top, I'd change that to maybe once a week. But if with just bulbs, once a month should be fine.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Jean, happy Thanksgiving.
And you too. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Maria?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, same to you. You ready for it?
Yeah, I am. It's going to be a little different this year. We get to go to my son's in-laws, so that'll be fun.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
What are you transplanting? Roses?
Yes, I'm wanting to transplant a Cecil Bruner rose and then a couple of rose bushes. I'm going to be moving in the next couple of months. So I didn't know when the right time would be, and is that possible to do, and will they do okay in my next location?
Well, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. So. Of course, when you go to dig those, cut them way back. Even your Cecil Bruner, you can cut back quite a ways, and thin them out, and then dig as big of a root ball as you could handle, and then if you are if it's going to be a couple of months till you move, you can wait until then. If we start getting into the end of March, it's getting too late. So if it gets that late before you can move them, then go ahead and dig them up and put them in some pots. If you need to borrow a couple of nursery pots, just let me know.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So I could actually dig them out now and put them in pots, or would it be better to wait longer?
It would be better to wait until they're the last minute to move them, because if you can just dig them and plant them all in one day, that would be the best way.
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't trim them until then either, or can I trim them now?
You can do your cleaning prune now. Just clean them up real good now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then of course do your dormant spray with the lime sulfur and oil.
On it, all over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tim.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Let me squeeze in one more before we take a break, because Evelyn is calling in from Gold Beach. Hi, Evelyn. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening to The Dove. What's going on with your green worms?
Hi, good morning and Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I live in a mobile home park in Gold Beach, and when I moved here, I planted willow trees on the perimeter of my lot for privacy, and they've all done wonderful. They're huge now, but about, I guess it was last summer, I started noticing the leaves were being eaten, and I finally saw what it is, and there's these little tiny green worms, and they're just, I mean, they're just decimating these trees, and now it's spreading to other trees in my yard. So I'm wondering, is there something I can do this winter, or, next spring when the leaves start sprouting again to eliminate these worms?
Yeah. As far as this winter goes, no, because they're feeding on the foliage, and if the foliage is gone, their food source is gone. So they've either gone dormant or they are finding another place to go. So chances are they're just gone dormant. Make sure you clean up as best you can. Get rid of all of the leaves and all of that stuff that they could be hiding in, waiting till next spring. Okay. So get that all cleaned up. That's going to be really important. And then as soon as you start to see that problem in the spring, spray with a product called Spinosad. It's we call it borer bagworm leaf miner tent caterpillar spray or something like that, but it's one of those furlong long names.
Spinosad?
Spinosad is the active ingredient. It's an all-natural product. It works very good against caterpillars, and I would get that sprayed as best you can. Even if they're big trees, just spray as much as you can.
Okay, and what are these little green worms?
You know, I don't recall what they're called.
Okay.
I haven't seen them in a while, and I'll have to look that one up for you because I don't remember.
Well, that's okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
Gosh,
yes.
they're awful. It started just with one tree, and now it's spread everywhere. And
yeah.
Okay. So Spinosad.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too, Evelyn. Thanks for listening over there.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We still have some time left for you to call and get your name in the hat. 776-5368, toll-free if you are outside the immediate Medford area, 1-800-373-5368. We'll be right back with the Timinator.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Well, we're back, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And Tim Elbert's in the house, and we are going to give away one of these beautiful red poinsettias coming up here in just a few moments from those who called in. So we still have some time left. Let me get right to the phone so we can get as many calls as we can. Dave, you've been very patient. What's going on with your strawberries?
Well, I got my strawberries from Tim and planted them, and they grew really good. But then I had some that got where the berries actually went bad, and I think I should have planted them in raised rows or something like that.
Yeah. If you get a lot of water, that can rot them out pretty fast.
Well, that was probably it. But I mean, and the other question is, can I transplant them now, or to change it so I got raised rows?
You can, yes. It just depends on if you want to. You don't have to, though, until the latest I would do it would be the end of March. So, but mostly with strawberries, I like to work those when it's a little bit warmer. So I wait till March and start doing that about then. But if you're working in that area and you want to get it done, absolutely, you can do it.
Okay, I'll just put it on my calendar and I'll do it like you said.
Okay.
That's a man for you, putting it off. That a boy.
I'll
Thanks,
stop.
Barry.
I told my wife, I said, I'm going to stop procrastinating tomorrow.
my sentiments exactly.
All right, see you, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
You too. All right, let's go to... Hi, Skip. What's going on with your trees?
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Perry and Tim.
You too. Thank you.
I've had some slippage on my property, and I built a big retaining wall and put 3 large above-ground planter box, and they're 8 by 6, and I haven't decided the depth, but it'll be around 3 or 4 feet. I'm thinking of planting a decorative tree, possibly a crepe myrtle, and a dwarf crepe myrtle. 2 questions is how much depth will I need as far as soil goes to get those properly growing, and then is early spring, March, April, a good time to plant them?
They're only going to need a couple of feet of depth, so you should be fine with what you're thinking there. And yes, I would say even later in spring, you can still put them in. So they're very adaptable and easy to grow. It's the selection that's going to be the biggest factor. So if you're looking for a certain variety, start shopping early. And if you can't find it, let us order it for you.
Okay.
And so if you want a specific variety, that's probably the best way to go. If you just want, any old red or any old pink will do, they're a dime a dozen. So.
Yeah, it'll need to be somewhat of a dwarf, maybe 6 to 8 feet tall, because of I don't want it to block much of the vision out of the house. So.
Sure. I haven't seen the dwarf ones done in tree form yet, so that might be a little bit difficult. But you might also research the Rose of Sharon, which only gets about 8 to 10 feet maximum. And that's another really nice summer blooming little tree. So look into that as well. It's going to be just as easy to plant.
Okay, I'll do that, Tim. And we can thank God for our blessings that we're not on an airport line right today.
Amen for that.
God bless you guys.
Thanks, Skip.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, let's see if I can squeeze in a couple more real quick. Mildred, hi. What's happy Thanksgiving? You have a orchid and a cactus, and they're not blooming?
No, I have an orchid cactus. I've had it forever and ever, and I can't get it to bloom, although I did cut a piece of it, and I gave it to a friend, and hers bloomed beautifully. Now I want to know, what am I doing wrong that I can't get mine to bloom?
I say give it to your friend.
Thanks a lot.
Did you plug it in?
I just wonder if there's something special it needs, because the plant is beautiful.
Are you feeding it?
Yes.
And what are you using?
The African violet food.
Okay. That should be about right. The only thing I could think of is if you just don't have enough light. You might just try moving it to a spot where it's getting more light and see if that helps.
I've tried it, but is there a special kind of light that it needs, like a southern light or a northern light, or what kind of light?
It's best in some southern light where it's going to get the most intense light possible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because I sure have. I've had it for 20 years. It's not bloomed.
Really?
Oh.
And it's just a beautiful plant.
Well, maybe you want to take a piece off it and start it over like you did your
I've
plant.
tried that, too. It hasn't worked.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of is just a really bright light and see if that works. Even put it outside in the non-freezing months and see if that helps as well.
Okay.
Oh, that might help, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mildred.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Say happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, same to you.
too.
All right. Let's see. I got to quickly go here so we can get it all wrapped up here quickly. Hi, Debbie. Hi. Happy Thanksgiving. What's going on with your lawn?
Happy Thanksgiving. I purchased Tim's lawn care system, but we just got a dog, and I'm wondering if all those products are safe for the dog this spring.
Well, I have 3 dogs, and I use all those products on my lawn, and they still they still only have 4 legs. They don't have 5. So what I like to do though.
I was hoping it would help the dog not jump the fence or something.
Well, what I would do is I put it down and water it in and allow the lawn to dry before I put the dogs out there. So, and a lot of times I'll put that on my lawn. I'll put the stuff out in the evening and then give it a little light watering, and then by the next morning they can go back outside again. So it usually works pretty good that way. I don't think anything that's in the program is going to be specifically harmful to dogs. Just can be sometimes irritating to their feet.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, happy Thanksgiving.
You too, Debbie.
All right, thank you.
All right, last call. Hi, Marilyn. You have something about poinsettias?
Yes, first of all, how on earth do you pronounce that word? I've heard so many different pronunciations, and I also would like to know, can I grow it outdoors year-round? And if so, how would I do it, and where would I put it?
Well, in our climate here...
If I can I kill the broadleaf weeds in my lawn? I fertilized it per your last conversation on TV, and it looks great, but the weeds are going crazy.
Okay. Poinsettias cannot grow outside in our climate here. They are tropical plants, so no, don't put it outside. As far as the weeds in the lawn go, yes, you can use a product called Weed Free Zone, and it works when the temperatures are colder. So it's a good one to use, but we still want to get those temperatures up in the 50s. So if we drop down colder than that, it's you're just going to want to wait. And then your first question.
How do you pronounce poinsettia?
Oh, the correct pronunciation is poinsettia. There's no T. It's not poinsettia. It's poinsettia. But as long as we understand what you're talking about, you can pronounce it any way you want.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. All right, first of all, let's do the drawing here. Thanks for all you have called in. Happy Thanksgiving. We got your name in the hat here. Okay. Get the drawing out. Somebody's going to take home a beautiful red poinsettia, and it's going to be?
It's going to be Helen.
Helen. Well, Helen, congratulations. We'll get hold of you, and you're going to go out there and get it, hopefully maybe today, so you can have it on your table tomorrow. We'll let you know about that coming up. And in the meantime, you are open today till?
We're open today till 5.
All right.
If you want to shop tomorrow, bring lock picks. So.
No, don't do that. You open Friday.
Open Friday and Saturday,
And you have poinsettias.
Yes, and Christmas cactus.
And
live Christmas trees.
And live Christmas trees. All right, and any other color?
There's a few pansies still, and we just got some fresh houseplants in the other day, so they're looking really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got out to Four Seasons Nursery out there on Crater Lake Highway. Get off on Vilas Road, hop over to the Frontage Road, just go up a little bit. You can't miss it. It's right there on the right. And 9 to 5 today, and then Friday and Saturday, but not tomorrow. He's going to be cooking turkey.
Yep, I spend the day in the kitchen.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, pal.
All righty, you too.
And same to you. Best to you. Blessings to all of you.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at the Dove TV.
Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, theDove.us.